Hey, in this video, I'm going to explain to you how to solve problems faster in your coaching business so that you can scale. Because the quicker you solve problems in your business, the more likely it is that you will be able to grow the revenue in your business. And the difference between the coaches who are making $100,000 a month, $1 million a month, is because they can just solve problems faster than people who are making way less. So the concept I'm going to share with you in this video will allow you to solve problems much faster in your coaching business. If you don't know who I am, my name is Obi. I've signed 3,000 plus clients for coaches and course creators, and we've generated multiple seven figures for these clients. And we help coaches sign high ticket clients without using sales calls, using our system. This idea for this video came from having a sales call with a client. I've taken many sales calls this year, and I was speaking to a client on a call, and she was just telling me about how she felt like Facebook ads were not working, and they were working before, and now the ads are not just working as much as they used to before. And I was asking her, does she know why the Facebook ads have stopped working? And the first thing that came to my mind was blaming the Facebook algorithm and saying, oh, it's because of the Andromeda update, it's because of this, it's because of that. Where in actual reality, if we looked at that ad account, it could just be something as simple as she hasn't tested new creatives in a while, or she needs to do some things with her targeting, or she needs to make some changes to her funnel, and so on and so forth. But this client was quick to blame Facebook Andromeda, blame the Facebook algorithm for the reason why our ads were not working. And it's just like one of my mentors shared with me before is you don't have business problems, you have personal problems that reflect in your business. So if you have the attitude or the character traits of blaming other things apart from yourself when problems arise in your business, you won't be able to solve that problem. And that will just lead to you being stagnant in your growth. So people like to blame their niche as the reason why they are not scaling, blame the algorithm, blame the lead quality. That's a big one, especially with sales calls. People love to blame the lead quality, and that's not always the case. There's always ways to close prospects, regardless of how qualified the lead is. I don't want to get into that. People love to blame the lead quality, they love to blame all these different things, apart from looking inward and truly trying to understand what is the problem here and how can I take responsibility for solving this problem and not blaming this external thing that I cannot control. Because quite frankly, you can't control your niche, quote unquote. You can choose the niche you want to work with, but you can't control the market in the sense where you say something and then you move the market to a direction they don't want to move to. You can't control the Facebook algorithm, for example. You can't control other people's actions. And when that happens, people just tend to not look inwards, is the point I'm trying to make here, and they tend to blame every other thing apart from themselves. And to be honest, doing this is usually a defense mechanism to protect yourself from the truth, because there's a certain truth that you're afraid of facing, and by blaming all these external factors, you are trying to protect yourself from that painful truth. A good example of this, a perfect example of this, is earlier this year when I was taking sales calls, I was really struggling with objection handling. And after every call, if a prospect had an objection, I would get angry that, oh, like, why doesn't this prospect have enough money? Why are they not wanting to purchase my product? And so on and so forth. It was really annoying at the time. And then when I dug deep, I realized the reason why I was struggling with objection handling is because I had a fear of conflict and I had a fear of judgment. And once I realized that was the problem, I was able to face that painful truth. So all the actions I was taking before, all the things I was saying, was just me protecting myself from facing the fact that I have a fear of conflict and I have a fear of judgment. Because conflict in my mind, handling objections, telling a prospect that, oh, what you're saying is not actually true, this is actually the reality of the case, oh, you don't need to think about it, you don't need to speak to your spouse, it felt like conflict in my eyes, and it made me really scared to do it, and I have the fear of conflict. So being able to confront that painful truth was what allowed me to get to a point where I was able to handle objections with confidence. Like I've had calls recently where the prospect will get to the end of the call and the prospect will say, oh, can I start next week or can I start on Monday? And I just put my foot down and say, no, there's no reason why we can't get started right now. I've had prospects ask for discounts on sales calls, and I'm like, you know what, we don't actually offer discounts. The price is the price. So it happens all the time with prospects. And before, I would have lost those deals because I had the fear of conflict and I was afraid they would judge me for being salesy. But being able to confront that is what has allowed me to overcome objection handling. And it's the exact same thing with what I'm trying to explain here. Because instead of you confronting that painful truth, you create these excuses, you create these external reasons why you're not getting the goals that you want in your coaching business. And that leads to you not solving the problem. Because as long as you keep blaming something else apart from yourself, you continue to have that problem. So it's like looking into a mirror and not liking what you see and then blaming the mirror, right? It's the exact same thing. If you look into a mirror and you don't like what you see, the problem is most likely you and not the mirror. This is the same reason why two people will join a coaching program or will be a client, for example, and one client will do exceptionally well with little to no efforts from us, and another client will really struggle. This is just because they didn't just look inward enough to see, okay, this thing is not working, that's fine. Instead of me putting all the power to this other person and blaming this person for this thing not working, what can I do internally to make this work? You have to have that mindset, and it's something I'm trying to have very strongly as well. I suffer from doing this too much, if I'm being honest, and I'll get into that a little bit later in the video. But you want to genuinely look inwards, because if you don't look inwards, you can't solve the problem. And at the end of the day, the coaching business is still yours. You make the most money from the sales that come in the coaching business. So no one should take your coaching business more serious than you, if you are being honest. So that's something to keep in mind. It's the same concept, right? If you have a team that is inefficient and not getting you the kind of results that you want, the problem is probably not 100% the team's fault. You need to also look inwards and see, okay, where is my leadership lacking here? Why did I hire this person in the first place? Same thing with agencies. People have this mindset that, oh, if I hire this agency, they're coming in to do everything for me because it's a done for you service, and they don't take any responsibility whatsoever. In fact, some people even start to work less on their business just because they've hired an agency. The agency buys back some of your time, facts, but you should invest that time into higher leverage things that still help the business grow, and not just stop working entirely because now you have a done for you agency that does your marketing. It's the same concept. The agency is not getting you results. It's not probably 100% the fault of the agency. You should take some responsibility for that so as well, to look inwards and see, okay, what can I do here to solve this problem? And I'll be honest, I'm guilty of doing this too much sometimes, where like problems would arise in my business, and instead of me holding the person accountable, I am looking inwards and saying, oh, what should I do to solve this problem? So it's not 100% to one side and ignoring the other side. You should still hold people accountable. You should still call people out on their BS, but you also want to look inwards to see, okay, this thing has happened. Where did I make mistakes? How can I be better? And how can I improve this? And just taking responsibility for anything that happens to your business. So again, like, it is not 100% to one side or 100% to the other side. You still want to hold people accountable and stuff like that, but you also want to have the habit of looking inwards, because that's the only way you can truly solve problems faster. Because if you don't look inward, that problem will always be there. Genuinely, look at the sales call example I was saying. If I didn't realize I had the fear of judgment, I would still be struggling to handle objections on calls. And now I'm not saying I'm the world best at handling objections, but I'm definitely way better than I used to be before. And I have deals this year that I've closed because I stood firm and I tried to address the objection head on and not like shy away or anything like that. Something practical you can take from this video is just look inwards. Look at your last few failures, look at the problems you're currently dealing with in your business right now, and ask yourself, what could I have done better here? How could I have taken responsibility for this thing? And if I was taking responsibility for the actions, then what would that look like? I'm not also saying you have to be the person solving every problem in your business. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's just looking into your business and trying to take responsibility for anything that happens is what I'm saying. Looking inwards and not blaming this external factor, blaming this external person for the problems that are happening in your business. All right, so quick one. If you are a coach and you have unpredictability in your revenue, you would like consistent, predictable revenue in your coaching business month over month, there's a link in the description that you can click to learn more about how my team can actually help you solve this problem for good. There's no pressure on you to click the link. It's there if you're interested. You can check out the video on the page. And then if you want to talk, you can book a call and we can have a conversation. But if not, that's totally fine too as well. And if you found value in this video, make sure you like it so you can get more videos like this, and then subscribe so you know when I drop new videos. And if you have any questions, if you feel like there's things that were not clear enough in this video, if you have ideas for future videos, just leave a comment below, and then I will be more than happy to go through the comments and make videos that are more tailored to exactly what you want. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.